Everyone, welcome to another day of the Tumblr 30-day video challenge. Pardon me. This is day 26. Tell us 3 things you do and don't like about yourself. I figured the option was 3 things you do or don't. I'm going to give you 3 things I do and don't like. So, I'm going to fire through these really quickly, just because it's a Sunday and I don't want to spend too much time doing this. So, number 1 is good sense of humour. I want to do. Now, when I say good sense of humour, I also include just my general outlook on life. I'd like to think I'm a pretty positive person. I can find the better parts of any situation, and even if I can't find the silver lining, at least I can try and make the best of whatever's going on. Even with death and ends of relationships, I like to think I'm a pretty positive person, and it's that gallows humour. I can have a bad situation and still manage to not necessarily find the positive of it, but just find ways to deal with it, and especially with my friends when they've been through tough times. So that was a number 1 of the do. Number 1 of the don't is eyebrows. Now, they've been the plague. They've been my plague. A plague, the plague of plague. Yeah, they came in pretty quickly during my teen years, and suffice to say, I take out the middle bit, not with tweezers, but with an electric razor. I've had a dry razor, and it turns out that one of the discs on the razor is just the right size to get in there, because if I didn't do it, I would have straight across. It would be thick black all the way across. I'd look like a character from The Simpsons. It would be ridiculous. I often describe having to shave that part as having to separate the Gallagher twins, the brothers from Oasis. It's a ridiculous burden. I don't have a great relationship with my body hair in the first place, but that is one of the things that really does get to me. Give it 2 days and it looks like Homer stubble. It's ridiculous. So, number 2 of the do is eyes. Now, although my eyes are a typical brown, they've got kind of little flecks of amber. I've always found that I've always found, and I've always been told by other people, that my eyes are very expressive. My ex loved my eyes. Always said she'd just take off my glasses and her face would be like that close to mine, and she'd just stare at my eyes. Loved how big and expressive my eyes are, especially when I get crazy face, and how big my eyes can become, and it's a bit weird, especially when I have an eyebrow to it as well. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of them particularly, but I appreciate where other people are, so they kind of become a do. Number 2 of the don't is temper. I inherited both my mum and my dad's temper. It can be ridiculous. I can find myself becoming like homicidally angry over nothing. Kind of, talk yourself into an angry situation, and it does drive me kind of balmy that I can just become so infuriated over nothing, and it's so hard to let go because I'm a stubborn fucker as well. So sometimes it can be impossible to let go of. Yeah. I haven't been arrested or anything over it yet. I haven't been sent to prison or I haven't really been reprimanded over it by anybody, but I think it's just my own attitude towards it. My final do, number 3, is my imagination. And tied into my imagination, I would also say my energy. I'd say my creative streak, I would say, is my greatest attribute. My energy then ties into it. I'm a big guy, but I still have more energy than some of the skinny, fit fuckers out there. So when it comes to film and music and writing, and just generally, like, if you're at somebody's house and they want to start a pillow fight, it's taking that energetic side of yourself and really putting it out there, and I'm pretty decent that way. I like to think I've got more energy than most people that are out there, even though I do resemble a manatee with glasses. So yeah, I'm never, aside from energy, I like to think I'm never afraid to unleash my creative streak. I'm never worried about looking silly or putting myself out there and worried about what people are going to think about my ideas. I have ideas, I have opinions, I have ideologies, and I like to let people know about them, and let the chips fall where they may. So yeah. And my final don't, number 3 of the don't, is clumsy. I am ridiculous. I am like fucking clown feet. I will fall over, trip over, fall onto, break anything you put around me that I probably shouldn't go near. I mean, even like being over enthusiastic with trying to fix things with a screwdriver, I'll end up breaking tools and breaking pieces of wood. And I once broke sometimes you get in disabled toilets, you get a rail that's off to one side and it kind of stands up, and it's like a bend. It looks like a wishbone, and it's on a hinge. And you think, okay, it's on a hinge, it should move, and it didn't. And I was helping a friend get off the toilet, and I was like, okay, well that's a handrail. You should be able to bring it down. And the hinge didn't move, and I ended up snapping the entire thing off. I think it was like thin piece of steel, but mostly plastic, and it took a lot of effort, but I ended up kind of bending it in half, and it was only when I bent it that I realised I'd fucked up. So I bent it back in place and then left it there, and no one ever said anything, so they never caught me. But I am ridiculous for dropping things. I get overexcited, and I'll like try and take something out of my pocket and it'll fly out, and I'll end up doing a little juggling act. Oh god. So yeah, I'm always tripping over things. If I'm trying to go to somewhere, I'll fall over something, or I'll take someone with me. I'm always kicking people. Yeah. Oh, if I over-articulate myself in stories, and I'll like gesticulate, and I do that in public. I do that a hell of a lot in public, and a lot of the time I will gesticulate, and somebody will be walking behind me, and I'll just smack them right in the face. Anybody that's been out with me for more than 10 minutes, especially after I've had a drink, will know that actually I don't even need a drink, but I will end up smacking people in the face. And it's usually always some drunk Scottish guy who talks to himself and eats his own fleas. So I pick my moments. Cool. Well, this was day 26. Don't know what tomorrow's topic is. Only 3 more days. What am I going to do then? I'm going to have to go back to writing things, I suppose. The written word. Anyway, I'm going to eat because I feel a little bit sick, and it's only midnight. What am I, fucking Sweden? It's midday, and I'm hungry, and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm going to say goodbye. 3 more days. See you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.